Hey everybody, my name is John from Community Life Church, and this is Meals Ready to Eat from the Bible. Today's episode is, it looks just like a regular place. What makes the place God sends us special is God. When we see Abraham move from one place to another, he does two things. First, he uproots his tent, meaning he pulls up the tent pegs, packs everything up. He's moving on. Secondly, he takes everything he has with him. The tent, his belongings, his servants, his animals, nothing stays behind. He's saying to God, everything I have is going to the place you show me. So let's read what God says about this in today's scripture. Let's pop that up on the screen. Abraham took, this is like Genesis 12, chapter 12, verses 5 through 9. Abraham took Sarai, his wife, and Lot his nephew, and all their possessions which they had accumulated, and the persons which they had acquired in Haran, and they set out for the land of Canaan. Thus they came to the land of Canaan. Abraham passed through the land as far as the site of Shechem to the oak of Moreh. Now the Canaanite was then in the land. The Lord appeared to Abram and said, "To your descendants I will give this land." So he built an altar there to the Lord who had appeared to him. Then he proceeded from there to the mountain on the east of Bethel, and he pitched his tent, with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east, or Ai on the east. And there he built an altar to the Lord and called on the name of the Lord. That's Genesis chapter 12, verses 5 through 9. So, what happened here? Let's take a look at what's going on and break it down a little bit. Abraham took his family, his possessions, and his people. When Abraham left his home, he didn't run away. He didn't abandon it. He took everything he had. Why? Well, he fully intended to stay where God sent him. The new place would be his home. This is important. Abraham would abide, stay permanently where God had sent him. He did not have a backup plan. He did not set out to see what things were like. He did not look back. He went and intended to keep going no matter what, and to stay where God sent him no matter what, until, of course, God told him to leave. They set out and passed through. Many of these places may have looked like a nice place to live, but they were not the place God had in mind, so Abraham kept going. We can't get distracted by what we see along the way in our lives. Many times we'll see that things look good and appear comfortable. Sometimes we may ask, why do the wicked prosper? Why do people who don't follow you have good things? We can see that, of course, in Jeremiah 12:1 and Psalm 94, 3 through 7, among others. When Abraham did set out, it means he pulled up his tent pegs. Once again, he took everything he had with him. He had no plans to go backwards. God appeared and spoke. How do we get God to speak to us? Well, you can't. He's speaking, we just have to listen. We don't earn it, we don't do anything else for it. Here we see Abraham in pursuit of the place God had for him, stopping and listening to God. God is always speaking, we just have to spend some time listening to him and hear what he is saying. Built an altar. So what is an altar? Well, it's a place that is higher than the surrounding area where sacrifices to God are placed. It's a prominent place, a notable place. So what does it mean for us today? It is a place in our heart that we separate or raise up for God. It is a place where we put our hearts and minds, our motivation for use by God. It is a place of separation, a place where we give to God what we think we have, but is actually and already his. Called on the name of the Lord. This is different than offering a sacrifice. It reveals to us that Abraham did more than build an altar. He knew God by name, and God knows us by name. Abraham was not content with the ceremony. He wanted to know, to see, to hear, and to speak with God. He also wanted to hear from God. So this is part of what he's doing here. Part of his life now is seeing God, hearing from God, speaking to God. And it should be the same for us. In his journey, Abraham showed us how we should react to the call of God. He went when God called him. He stayed where God sent him until God said to move on. He spoke with God and tried to know God. He wanted to know God with everything he had. He is our example of leaving a place of comfort where we know and control everything and where we're going where God says. For too long we've said we want to know God, but we refuse to change our habits and lifestyles. So let's commit to following God, to knowing God, to seeking God, to hearing God, and to asking God to speak to us. We would really appreciate a like and subscribe. If you want to know more about Jesus and how to get to know him, how to follow him, how to live for him, check us out at clchurch.cc. That's clchurch.cc. We meet Sunday mornings 10:30. We have meetings during the week. We have devotionals on YouTube and Facebook during the week, and we also stream our services to YouTube and Facebook, so you can watch us there. I hope to see you Sunday morning. Thanks for watching. Bye.